There exists a Dutch enterprise that dates back nearly for centuries, and its historical value is almost unimaginable. Picture the combined worth of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Saudi Aramco together. Even then, you would still fall short of the valuation this company once commanded. When most people think about capitalism, dynastic fortune, or generational wealth, the usual associations are names like the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. Rarely do we pause to consider a discrete Dutch institution that fundamentally reshaped economic history. This corporation pioneered the first publicly traded company, earliest organized stock exchange, and the world's inaugural IPO. And remarkably, its legacy continues to exist. So, settle in. Today, we unravel the extraordinary saga of the Dutch East India Company and its powerful ally, the House of Orange. Let us rewind to 1580, when a pivotal transformation took place on the Iberian Peninsula. Spain absorbed Portugal through a political union, instantly merging to vast maritime empires under a single crown. Together, they controlled immense territories across Asia, Africa, and the Americas. Overnight, Spain inherited Portugal's overseas domains, fundamentally shifting global naval dominance. For the Dutch, this development posed an existential threat. Even though they were technically under Spanish rule, they were already fighting for independence, and now they faced a much stronger consolidated rival. Realizing that traditional military resistance would not be enough, the Dutch chose an alternative weapon: private capital. In 1602, 7 independent trading firms combined to create a new entity known as the VOC, or what we now call the Dutch East India Company. Its name reflected both its Dutch roots and its trading focus on the East Indies. The region encompassing modern-day Indonesia, Malaysia, and nearby island networks. Outwardly, it resembled a trading house. Beneath the surface, however, it functioned as an instrument of economic warfare. It commanded fleets, maintained privately funded armies, constructed fortified bases, and projected power across multiple continents. Yet the true revolution lay in its ownership model, shares that allowed ordinary Dutch citizens to finance expansion and share in the profits. For the first time, empire building was fueled not by royal treasuries or feudal taxes, but by markets. Merchants engineered the company's operations, but another force held its foundations together: the House of Orange. This dynasty possessed influence, but lacked a formal kingdom. Its authority rested on fragile political legitimacy within a merchant-ruled republic, with aristocratic privilege losing relevance and pressure coming from both Spanish power and Amsterdam's elites. The family faced a strategic crossroads: fade away or evolve. They chose capital as their instrument. Although they did not manage the VOC directly, they invested heavily in it, intertwining their political survival with the company's success. Over time, members of the House of Orange, such as William IV and William V, became stadtholders and presided over both the VOC and the Dutch West India Company, transforming them into some of Europe's most influential figures. Their rise demonstrated a new paradigm: authority built on dividends rather than crowns. The VOC did not behave like a normal firm. It operated like a sovereign state. With a valuation surpassing what would equal $7.9 trillion today, it dwarfed the economies of many nations. Its fleets traveled from the Persian Gulf to Japan, enforcing monopolies through diplomacy and force alike. Its Asian headquarters in Batavia, modern-day Jakarta, established after Dutch forces seized the city in 1619, became the heart of its imperial command. For centuries, Batavia shaped regional politics, culture, and commerce. Leaving a legacy still visible in Indonesia today, this massive system relied on unprecedented financial innovation. Instead of relying on royal capital, the VOC opened investment to the public in 1602, the first IPO in history. Its charter granted it the power to negotiate treaties, wage war, govern colonies, and monopolize trade, blurring the line between corporation and state. Permanent tradable shares created the world's first secondary market, the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, while concepts such as limited liability protected investors and encouraged participation. Soon, speculation, futures, and arbitrage emerged, laying the foundations of modern financial practice. VOC shares soared nearly tenfold by the early 18th century. It's fueled by widespread fear of missing out. Dutch financial influence spread far beyond Europe. William of Orange carried these ideas into England during the Glorious Revolution of 1688, introducing public credit, government bonds, and the Bank of England. Across the Atlantic, Dutch commercial principles shaped New Amsterdam, later New York, embedding legal and financial habits that endured under British rule and eventually helped build one of the world's leading financial centers. Amsterdam's disciplined banking culture merged with London's speculative dynamism. The combined framework migrated to America, shaping global finance as we know it. However, even giants have limits. By the late 1700s, the VOC's unchecked expansion gave way to mismanagement, corruption, mounting military costs, and competitive pressure from rival empires. Oversight weakened, leadership fragmented, and inefficiency hollowed the organization from within. By 1795, the Dutch state intervened and nationalized the company, formally dissolving it soon after. Although its empire collapsed, its institutional architecture, corporate law, multinational governance, capital market financing endured and continues to underpin modern capitalism today. The Netherlands no longer commands vast oceans, but it maintains extraordinary financial influence. It ranks among the world's most competitive economies and remains a global magnet for investment. With trillions in foreign holdings circulating through its corporate networks, the House of Orange-Nassau still occupies a symbolic monarchy, but retains deep strategic ties to industry, energy, and finance through investments, trusts, and partnerships. Companies such as Royal Dutch Shell formed in major financial groups built on Dutch corporate traditions reflect this continuity. The descendants of merchants and financiers who once powered the VOC now sit quietly on boards, direct multinational firms, and shape policy through capital networks. Their surnames may not dominate headlines, yet their influence persists across sectors from oil to banking to logistics. When people speak about capitalism and global wealth, they often invoke industrial titans like J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, or the Rothschilds, but the blueprint they followed was written centuries earlier by the Dutch. The VOC and the enduring power structures they set into motion